Lisa Leslie had something. Do we have audio of this of Lisa Leslie having something to say about Caitlin Clark? Let's listen to Lisa Leslie here on Caitlin Clark.
It's mid-July, but perhaps could be nearing a return to help the playoff push, and she could provide quite a boost, Lisa.
She could provide an amazing boost, but again, I'm just going to put my coach's hat on, my GM hat on, you want to see Caitlin Clark for the longevity of her career? I'm just thinking, me personally, I would not put Caitlin Clark back on the floor this season. And the only reason why I say that is because I had the injury that she had. That deep groin injury is nothing to play around with. It can feel like you've never had it. You make one move, one cut, boom, she's back in the same spot. I don't know that it's worth risking it. If they get the 8th spot and you get into the playoffs, is it really worth looking at Minnesota round 1? I don't know. That's just my opinion. What you think?
Man, I mean, it would be lovely to get her back, but we care about Caitlin Clark playing basketball for a very, very, very long time. And so you don't want her to return unless she's 100% healthy. I'm thinking about more so from the player perspective of the pressure that Caitlin Clark is facing, getting back on the court. Her logo was just released a few days ago. I mean, obviously, we've seen the fans and the number of people in attendance for the Fever. And so it's been tough, I would imagine, mentally for her to have sat out this many games her second season. I'm wondering if that pressure is starting to get to her a little bit about just returning this season and showing us that you can play basketball again.
I agree with the young lady as it relates to if it was anybody but the Minnesota Lynx. I would not send Caitlin Clark running back out there against the stud buds, them two, or Dejanay Carrington. I would not let those 3 girls attack Caitlin Clark in the playoffs with Caitlin Clark having not played for 2 months. I think that would be a mistake and an embarrassment for Caitlin Clark and the Fever.
Caitlin Clark so above skill level when it comes to these players in the WNBA. I think she'll be ready to torch their butts too. You throw her right back in. As long as she's 100% healthy, the stud buds, they don't have a chance of doing nothing with Caitlin Clark. She would clown them, make them look silly. Dejanay Spicy Mustard Kruger Carrington, you know, she will be probably a little more behaved under Cheryl Reeves and playing for a championship team in Minnesota Lynx. And this is my belief. Maybe not. But Caitlin don't fear none of that stuff. So, and when it comes to pressure, we've seen what she's been handling that so swell forever now. Since we've been watching her junior year in college, senior, going into the WNBA, she's been having the whole WNBA on her shoulders and carrying them. And a lot of them hating on her and doing all that. And she's done it with a smile on her face. So if she's able to go, you definitely let her go because you could upset the Minnesota Lynx with Caitlin Clark on the floor.
Potentially, I wouldn't take the risk. Dejanay Carrington would try to kill her. You think Joy Taylor don't like me? Dejanay Carrington really don't like Caitlin Clark. Finally, I want to play you Lauren Jackson, former WNBA player, very, very good former WNBA player. She's kind of flip-flopped on whether or not she would have liked to have played with Caitlin Clark. At one point, you know, she talked about how great Caitlin was and, you know, how she'd love to play with her. And then she gets on with Sue Bird and kind of makes a comment about, like, I'm not sure if Caitlin Clark would pass the ball. Let's play this latest clip from Lauren Jackson, and we'll get your reaction.
Today that you look at and think, like, oh, I wish I could play with her?
I love Caitlin Clark. I've said that before, but I do love her, but it was taken out of context. I've always said that Sue is the one that, like, you are the, but no.
I don't
Like, no. I have to,
I
like,
saw it. Babe, take it.
No. You are the best point guard I've ever played with, but you are completely different players to her. Like, and also too, she's got a lot of development and growth to come, but I feel like you are the consummate professional. But I think the way that you are able to bring a team together and make a team hum, yeah, like you're the player that I actually got to play with and I would wish I could play with.
I knew exactly what you meant.
Yeah, no, I know
when
you
you
did.
did that video. I knew exactly what was happening.
So I'll say that I love watching her. I'm not sure I would have loved playing with her though. Like I'm not sure because I'd be like, pass me the ball. I'm open. Give me the ball.
Bring
but
it
she
down
is
here.
a very good.
It's like I average like 5 assists. She averages like 8. I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. I feel like she'd take a 3 instead of passing it to me, and I'd be like, no, mate, that's not gonna work.
It's a pick and pop. I've heard that. It's
a big
before.
pop,
Nah,
yeah.
mate. It's not gonna work.
Frank, I love Caitlin Clark, but I think Lauren Jackson is actually saying something that other players actually think and believe, that she's great, but she jacks up these logo threes early in the shot clock. I done run down court for no reason. She doesn't give the offense a chance. She takes bad shots. And then the other little subtle dig, she's just, when she's saying, Sue, you were the ultimate professional, she's saying that Caitlin Clark, all the flopping that she does and all the bickering she does with the referees is unprofessional and a distraction, and it's too much. I know I'm going to get killed for having any criticism of Caitlin Clark, but those are the facts. And so Lauren Jackson, I don't think that's hate. I just think that's her keeping it real. I do think there are some players that look out there and say, man, all that wasted energy, bickering with the refs and all the flopping and extra emotion, and some of these threes just shouldn't be taken. Your reaction?
She's clearly lying because what we didn't play was when she said, oh, she's so amazing. Oh, her vision, her smarts. Let me do her smarts is what, right? She talked about her smarts, Jason. And then you go 2 days later and get in front of Sue Bird and say, well, wait a minute. So she's lying. She's been disingenuous. She was being genuine on the first podcast she was on speaking about Caitlin Clark. And you can tell if you had that clip, you can tell in her face, in her body language, that she believed everything she was saying when she was praising Caitlin Clark, saying she would want to play with her and those type of things. So I think she's pandering, just like Gino did. Gino did similar thing. He came out and said how she was being targeted. It seemed like that Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird didn't have to face this. And then 3 hours later, he went on Dan Patrick's show and he destroyed her, right? And so to me, it seems like either people get called up, because like I said, I believe she's being sabotaged from the top. And when those type of figures, predominant figures like a Gino, or I don't know who that lady is, I've never heard of her, but she's supposed to be some legend, I guess. And ladies, listen, WNBA, if we wasn't watching, you're not legendary. You sound like Shador Sanders. Stop it. You're not legendary. We don't know you, okay? We don't know who you are, lady, okay? But you said what you said, and Gino said what he said, and they took it back. To me, that sounds like you got a phone call and said you need to retract what you said because that's a little too much. It just looks like another case of sabotaging Caitlin Clark.
Frank, I'm going to call you the Tulsa King. Thank you so much. Great job as always. We'll see you next time. Thank you all for watching today's episode of Fearless.